Welcome back to Let's Play Halo Anniversary. I'm BurningDogFace. And we have come to a very, very well-known part of Halo 1. The way it finishes. But, before we jump in, I did want to get to some notes, and I figured it would be easier to do that here than on the pause menu while the Doom timer is counting down. Let's see. Start out with a shout-out to Elthwar, who commented that blowing up Halo is definitely going to make the Covenant hate humanity more, but given that they already wanted us extinct, that's probably not a concern right now. Let's see, definitely shout out to Roshan, because I had forgotten, but he was the one who reminded me, rather, of the fact that the Flood has an infinite memory, that it can remember things from the first time it was out and about in the universe. I forgot to acknowledge that when I brought that up. He also brought up an ability they had back in the day, which was to infect machinery with something called the Logic Plague, which essentially hacked Forerunner AIs into believing that they should help the Flood, which is fucking terrifying. He also made the very valid point that, despite what I said, it's perfectly normal for the Flood to talk to themselves and get an answer. Oh, that's so terrible. Shout out to Statako, who pointed out that the nav points make sense in this game, more so than in most other games, given that A, you're wearing a helmet with a visor on it, and B, there's an AI in your head giving you nav points, as opposed to them just appearing for you. He was also just as curious as I am about how the Master Chief knows how to interact with Forerunner technology, but I don't really have an answer for that. Let me see. Ah, yes, here it is. Elthwar also pointed out, A, that name, rank, and service number are the only information that soldiers are supposed to give to captors, so well done, Keys. Pour one out. He also suggested that if the Proto-Gravemind is already talking, it's possible that it's just, right now, is just a crude facsimile of the personality it will inherit upon reaching full size. More of a chatbot than a person. He also said that, I brought up, why did they just go for Keys? Why didn't they ask anyone else? Well, he points out that, how many people on the ship actually know where the Pillar of Autumn is right now after that random slipspace jump? How many of these Marines and soldiers and crewmen know how to do interstellar navigation? So it's actually possible that he was the only person who, other than Cortana, who knew how to navigate back to Earth. So, fair enough. And, Derek Floyd, shout out, gave us 2 more of those delightful weapon detail comments. I apologize for not reading all of them during this playthrough, but there's kind of a lot I wanted to talk about. Let's just see here. The Type 33 Guided Munitions Launcher, the Needler, is a strange weapon. They don't even know how it works. It doesn't even have an obvious connection between the trigger and firing mechanism. The Sangheili and the Covenant have been studying the Sudanese crystal it uses for ammunition for centuries, and they still don't know most of its properties beyond heat-seeking, explodes after impact, and explodes bigger after a bunch impact close together. Meanwhile, the UNSC refers to the Type 33 light anti-armor weapon, yes, they're both Type 33, but they're in different categories, a fuel rod gun, because its glowing green projectiles resemble the popular image of a nuclear reactor's fuel rods. I didn't know that part. The group that manufactures its ammunition for the Covenant uses engineer-maintained Forerunner facilities, so they don't actually know very much, if anything, of the process of making them. That's very interesting. What else is here? What else is here? Ah, yes. There was another thing from, Derek Floyd. Yes, the Pillar of Autumn arrived on September 19th, 2552. It is now September 22nd. Has the Master Chief been awake and fighting for 3 days straight? And then he says something else, but I'll get to that in just a bit. Ooh, mysterious. And finally, I think that's finally for the moment. Yes, finally, shout out to Justin Jones, who said that learning about the way that the floods suck your memories out of your head officially makes them, to him, a more terrifying assimilation species than the Borg from Star Trek. And that's really saying something. In an earlier video, he commented that he's not clear which is more dangerous, the Flood from Halo or the X-Parasite from Metroid. I'm not really going to go into that because I'm already babbling on this screen, but I had a discussion with a friend the other day, and we kind of came to the conclusion that the X might actually be more dangerous. We've just never seen what happens when their infestations goes completely out of control. And now, for the Warthog run.
Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Analyzing.
Oh, fuck.
6 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. We need to evac now. Activating final countdown timer. When it reaches 0, the engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees.
Oh.
Don't be here when the credits.
No kidding. Hey, here's a fun fact. On Legendary difficulty, you only get 5 minutes. Gotta get to the rendezvous point. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oh no. Okay, good. I didn't want those guys exploding underneath me. Oh no! Fuck, there goes the achievement. There's an achievement for getting through this entire level without tipping over the Warthog a single time. And I haven't the slightest idea how any human being could ever get it. This thing controls a little bit like a bathtub. Still good. Oh, I absolutely should have gone over. On the plus side, I'm probably going to die, and then we'll get to do the level over, because the only checkpoint is at the beginning. You know, because of the timer. Oh my god, I'm doing terribly. I mean, technically, we've already won. The Pillar of Autumn is going to explode, and it's going to... well, it's going to do bad things to Halo. So the gun pointed at the head of the universe is about to get the safety put on permanently. But if we don't get off in time, the Master Chief and Cortana will die. And, no spoilers for the rest of the franchise, but they're kind of involved really heavily. I forgot to check, but I seem to remember hearing somewhere that at the very beginning of the level, the distance nav point says that you are 1.17 kilometers away from, the objective, which is nice, because, Spartan 117. Honestly, the driving here is the important part. If you're, like, player 2, you're on the gun, your job is to fucking hold on and not fall off. We're gonna die. Oh, god damn it. Oh, I did forget one I didn't even write down. Shout out to Yornik for his entertaining posts about the antics of a rogue elite, a rogue grunt, and their newfound friend, Keys' nut scene on this story, daughter, Alicia Keys. That's a spirit, if I'd ever seen a shadow from one. That's... Oh, there was a flood in that gun, I think. I also learned this level has an interesting bug in it that I'd never noticed. Apparently, right before you get to engineering, there's a single, there's a bit where, oh, the Flood and the Covenant are fighting, but, oh.
Wait, stop. This is where Foehammer is coming to pick us up. Hold position here.
Cortana to Echo 419.
No.
2 Covenant Banshees are approaching on your 6. Evade. Say again, evade.
Echo 419! She's gone. Calculating alternate escape route. Ship's inventory shows 1 longsword fighter is still docked in Launch Bay 7. If we move now, we can make it.
Oh yeah, there are some variables from the variation from the theme of UNSC vehicles are named after Earth animals and Covenant vehicles are named after ghosts. For example, Covenant mining excavators, which they have an unusually large number of, are named after insects, and UNSC space fighters are, for whatever reason, named after weaponry. So, yeah, longsword fighters. Oh! Ooh, it's around here. There's an Easter egg in this level that I've never actually seen, but I finally looked up how to find it. It's supposed to be after Cortana Foehammer goes. And rest in peace, Foehammer. You were a very, very excellent pilot. And then there's a door on the right somewhere. I need to be able to see the wall. If I tilt the camera that way, I turn in that direction. No. Is this it? It's him!
Good thing that food nipple's waiting for me at the starship. Cause, man, if I worked up a big, grungy thirst...
Oh, god damn it. There were no subtitles on that, so in case you couldn't make it out, he said, "It's a good thing that food nipple is waiting for me back on the ship, because I've worked up a big, grunty thirst." Achievement unlocked, Thirsty Grunt. Halo CE, listen to the Thirsty Grunt talk about his eating habits. I don't even care if I make it at this point. That was worth it. Even if I don't make it on this run, I want it considered canon that the Master Chief met the Thirsty Grunt, who I don't think is actually a canonical character. But still, it's on record.
Chief, up ahead there's a gap in the trench. At top speed, we should be able to clear it.
Gotcha. Oh, nice job with the music. I like that. They faked me out there. Oops. No! Huh. I forgot there was actually a cutscene for that.
Negative.
I thought they just,
We have a Wildcat destabilization destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Analyzing. We have 6 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. We need to evac now. Activating final countdown timer. When it reaches 0, the
2.1.
engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees. Don't be fearful.
Oh, I remember now. The official statistic is that the Pillar of Autumn is 1.17 kilometers long. That's what it is, even though it doesn't actually line up with the waypoints in this level. Oh, I'm really glad that went off quickly, because if he'd just thrown it normally, then it would have gone off as I got over there. Oh, no, wait, the tunnels do make it easier, don't they? Excuse me. Fuck yeah! Excuse me. Oh, I was starting to say... Fuck, I don't remember what I was starting to say when we got to the faux hammer part. Just a moment. Okay, I've remembered. Right before you get to engineering, there is a single human-based Flood combat form who is tagged incorrectly. He fights on the side of the Covenant against the other Flood forms there. And that's very interesting to me, because I just kind of assumed it was hard-baked into each type of enemy. You know, who they would try to kill. Why is my instinct to go around? No! Stupid fishtailing! No! I almost got into the wrong side, because for just a moment there I had a sudden... I don't know... instinctual memory of Mad Max, where I had to force myself to get in on the wrong side. You know, because the game was from Australia. Or no, the game is set in Australia. I don't think it was actually made in Australia. Not that people really give a shit which side of the car you sit on in the post-apocalypse, given that there's no laws and everything. That's a wall. But, you know, that's just the side all the steering wheels are on. I will never not wait for Carol Raleigh. She was a good soldier. Just saying, in case you're going to be wondering. If I never gave you a shout-out, I still very much appreciate that you're watching this series. Oh, shit. No, my mistake. That was an elite. Must be gold, because I saw the pale color from a distance. Wah!
Wait, stop. This is where Fohammer is coming to pick us up. Hold position here.
There's nothing you can do to save her. But I'm going to try and shoot down those Banshees. Oh, that's right. I just learned this today. And you can tell by looking at them, these Banshees are actually open, because by some kind of mistake they were spawned into the game without pilots. They just follow the path they were programmed to follow, even though they're not actually on.
Evade! Say again, evade!
But if you blow them up, it will create pilots to fall out.
Echo 419! She's gone.
Huh.
Calculating alternate escape route. Ship's inventory shows
Oh, fuck.
one longsword fighter is still docked in Launch Bay 7. If we move now, we can make it.
Let's just say I got the guy who got in that last shot on our engines. Rest in peace, Fohammer. no fuel limits or anti-air weapons where you're going. Oh, good. These guys, in particular, have fuel rod guns in case I run them over. Yeah, that's what the grunt is. I knew he was in this level somewhere, but between the timer and, you know, everything else, I just kind of never explored it.
Ahead, there's a gap in the trench. At top speed, we should be able to clear it.
I feel like I'm doing much better than I was last time, but I'm not actually sure. Come on, me. I can do this. Thanks for believing in me, me. Don't mention it. Yes!
Move! We need to get aboard now!
That was it. The last reload. I'm going for it.
We're cutting it close. Shut them down. We'll need them later. Fancy a look?
It sucks to be anyone right there.
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halen, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.